covered entity, no matter how small, is required to designate a privacy official. This tutorial will cover obligations of that position and how to designate the best available person. The privacy official is an administrative requirement of the privacy rule. The privacy official is responsible for developing and implementing policies and procedures of the entity. The privacy officer is responsible for training the workforce and determining what administrative, technical, and physical safeguards are needed. He or she must approve policies and procedures to allow patients to make complaints. He must approve sanction procedures for the workforce and must approve policies and procedures for mitigating harms caused by privacy violations. He must deter workforce members from intimidating or retaliating against patients who make complaints, and deter any kind of behavior that causes individuals to waive their rights to obtain treatments or health benefits. The privacy officer must stay abreast of changes in the law, and policies and procedures must be documented in written form. HIPAA doesn't require a business associate to designate a privacy official for their business, but some business associates have chosen to designate a privacy official. When OCR published the HITECH final rule, the agency suggested that designating a privacy official may be a contractual requirement if the covered entity wants to delegate its privacy official responsibility to the business associate. HIPAA does not regulate the method of choosing a privacy official. The entity has flexibility to designate the best person available. Now we'll examine how a privacy officer is designated in the town of Single Peak. Dr. Priscilla Pruitt and her husband Hudson have lived in Single Peak for decades. In 1980, they purchased an abandoned pharmacy and turned it into a medical office. Years later, they hired Pete, their business manager. In 2003, Pete became the HIPAA privacy officer. Recently, Dr. Kramer joined the practice. Dr. Kramer's arrival has given Pete a headache.
Hudson, Dr. Kramer's expenses are out of control.
We have serious cash flow problems. I can't go on like this. My friend Guy offered me a better job. He needs someone to operate the new recycling center. And I agreed.
Oh no, please don't leave us. Would you continue to work part-time as our privacy officer?
No, your staff is out of control. You hire irresponsible children. My reputation is at stake. I've got my own kids to worry about. Why don't you designate Belle? She knows a lot about HIPAA.
Not Belle. We're training her to be Dr. Kramer's chiropractic assistant.
Well, then you have to make the choice. Is it going to be Dr. Priscilla, or do you designate yourself?
I'm going to ask Anne's opinion about this.
Hi, what brings you here today?
We have to designate a new privacy officer.
Would you agree to be our privacy officer?
No, you don't need a lawyer for the job.
Could we designate 2 privacy officers? Priscilla and I work well as a team.
No, because the title should go to only one person. The privacy rule requires a single focal point of accountability. But you could have a privacy committee. I would be happy to serve as your legal advisor. The committee should also include the contact person. Have you designated a contact person?
What does the contact person do?
That person is responsible for receiving HIPAA complaints and for answering questions about matters covered by the Notice of Privacy Practices.
I would agree to be the contact person if Hudson agrees to be the privacy officer.
That's fine with me. But you must promise to attend my committee meetings.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
Every covered entity must designate a privacy official who's responsible for maintaining policies and procedures to implement the privacy rule. Thanks for watching. We have more tutorials coming. Thank you in advance for comments and suggestions.